Oh, wait,
Roxanne
wait,
Perez.
damn. Hold on, no, we gotta talk about the damn match before we go about the damn.
Oh,
Come on
my
now,
bad.
damn. All
My
right,
bad.
shit.
I got too
All right,
excited, man. Stop me.
I
All
know.
right.
Hold on, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Hold up, I got it. It's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, let's work backwards,
Okay.
and then we'll do the play-by-play. Mr. D-Walk, what do you rate this match before the reveal of whatever the fuck that girl's name was?
I thought it was dope. I thought it was dope.
Giulia versus Roxanne Perez. We'll talk about the
I,
play-by-play and everything else, but let's talk about the ratings first. D-Walk.
I give it an A. I'm not
Okay.
even gonna lie. I give it an A. They
Okay.
was the way, like it was a technical, it was a female technical wrestling match. Like to me, this match was dope to me.
Okay.
Like it was almost watching like a Chris Benoit Bret Hart match to me
More or
because
less.
it was
I
technical.
like the reference.
It was technical. Like they was met. It was
Pistol.
like
There
a
you go.
damn technical wrestling. Man
Okay.
to man, they
Yeah.
knew the surroundings. Uh, when uh when Roxanne Perez hit the pop rocks on Giulia, she rolled out the ring. It was like they knew what was going on. That's
Now,
why I said that. It was dope.
yeah. Now, before I continue, Joe, what was your rating of the match? Or you want me to say the play-by-play first? Because I actually got drunk yesterday and wrote down everything. It's really
I
amazing. Back with the old days.
enjoyed the match.
Mm.
I wasn't very happy with the ending, but I kind of had a feeling they were going to do some hokey shit to drag it out.
Yeah,
I was hoping they would have started the show off with a little shock value,
yeah,
having Giulia upset Roxanne.
yeah.
You could have had Cora Jade come out and like fuck up and trip Roxanne instead and cost her the match.
Yeah, but what I don't understand is why is Corey Jade and man, why is Roxanne Perez and Corey Jade cool with each other? And which in general they wasn't cool with each other back in the day. So why would they be cool? Why would it just make me mad like how she
It's
interfered in the match and she fucked it up for whatchamacallit
For Giulia.
for Julia. She fucked it up for Julia and what
Yeah.
she wasn't cool with Roxanne Perez.
Yeah.
And which in general though, like that don't make sense.
it's because Cora Jade's a heel
Okay.
and Roxanne Perez when they fought was a face.
Okay.
And Roxanne Perez is a heel now. And
So
Cora
they're gonna
Jade
do-
said that she enjoys this new Roxanne Perez. She's like, I've always known you've had it in you.
Yeah. Now, before we continue, because we'll talk about that in a second, because I have the video for that reveal. I would like to say the play-by-play. And this is actually you're gonna see Dennis blush again in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, by sound, mind, and body, I said this from voice to text yesterday about the match. So I have not read this until right now. Here we go. Highlights for Giulia and Roxanne Perez, because we're not giving it credit, ladies and gentlemen. Good start in the beginning. People try to do their finishes. Good arm drag, good fluidity, no counters before commercial. In the first 3 minutes, both of these ladies try to do their finishers. Roxanne for the pop rocks, Giulia with that weird type of like behind the arm type of like it looks like the big ending. It looks like the big ending, but the woman's hand, the woman's arms behind is behind the back, like just on Giulia's shoulders. I haven't seen her special yet to kind of like figure it out. Roxanne Perez doing a suicide dive to outside and trying to capitalize. But for every move that she does, Giulia just feels like it doesn't do anything to her. For every move Roxanne Perez did, Giulia made me remind myself of Asuka. Giulia's a headbutt wrestler. Very Benoit, using her head for everything. Headbutts, diving headbutts, everything. And I respected that. Now, Roxanne, okay, Giulia does a dragon suplex off the top rope, which was fucking awesome because she did it. She got a 2. Giulia said, you know what? I'm going to take your ass to the top rope, do a dragon suplex off the top rope. And she did it for a 2. Then, which I love this, she does her version of the Rings of Saturn. Shout out to Saturn. I love that. And and then Roxanne Perez does her pop rocks, as Dennis said. And then Giulia transitions the Rings of Saturn into the Daniel Bryan special, which I love that. So she can't do the Rings of Saturn. She transitions into the other version. Now, Giulia on the outside does a Northern Lights bomb to Roxanne Perez, which looked beautiful. And I quote, and I have to say, thank you, Dennis, for bringing the spirit of wrestling back into me, because I have a new notepad on my phone and I'm writing down the play-by-play like if I was in the other place back of the day. This match has been really good so far between Giulia and Roxanne. End quote. I said that yesterday drunk, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, Alex.
Yes.
Didn't I tell you you'd be very impressed with Giulia when she came in?
Yeah.
Giulia, no. Let me finish this out, though. Someone mysterious DDTs someone on the outside. Roxanne Perez does her special and wins. It is revealed that it was Cora Jade that attacked Giulia. Okay. That's what we're talking about. And ladies and gentlemen, before I answer that question, we have the reveal.
Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez, thanks to an old friend, retained the NXT Women's Championship.
Okay. Giulia reminds me of a female Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
With a little bit of Benoit, and she uses her head like a Samoan. Very unique in that style, but she's Japanese because you don't do a dragon suplex on the top. Huh?
Very, very colorful like Asuka.
Very colorful like Asuka, but you don't do a dragon suplex unless you're fucking Dragon Bryan, like Daniel Bryan off the top rope. You don't do that shit. Like I don't see anybody else doing dragon suplexes except for Ospreay.
How many women do that?
That's what I mean. Like I like her style. She's a little bit of like Benoit because she uses her head a lot and everything. Like you try to kick her in the head, she's like, bitch, it hits you again. That's what. Yes.
But this is another topic that I've brought up many times. This is why all wrestlers should be doing a 6 month to a year tour in Japan and Mexico. Because look at how good she is. She wrestled in Mexico and Japan, and look at how fucking good she is.
But she's a Japanese wrestler by heart, and you know those girls are trained before they even hit puberty.
But still, how much do you think it would benefit the American wrestlers to have a 6 month tour of Mexico and Japan?
It benefited fucking Roxanne. It was a semi-flawless match. Yeah, I will respect that. You took a Northern Lights bomb to the outside and you got up. Congrats.
Dragon suplex from the top rope.
Yeah, like that. That's if the Blue Girl. That's if the Blue Girl fought. Sorry, Dennis. That's if the Blue Girl fought Asuka in the first match, and Blue Girl had a fucking badass match. Like, holy shit!
Sky Blue.
No. Remember back in NXT, back in the old days, there was a girl called the Blue Pants.
Oh yeah.
What if Blue Pants had a fight with Asuka on her first match, and she had like a fucking 5-star match on her first match? That's how I felt Roxanne Perez was against Giulia. Roxanne Perez is a Saiyan, adaptable, but it really felt like Goku versus Jiren. You against somebody that you have no idea where the fuck you coming from. And if it wasn't for Cora Jade, Giulia would have won outright. There was no doubt on that match. Roxanne Perez was just like slightly under a level of Giulia. Slightly under a level. And it showed. And I respect those two workers. One from Japan, one raised by CM Punk and American wrestling, and they meshed well. Wrestling. Dennis, your thoughts?
Wrestling is coming back. Wrestling is real. To me, that this Giulia and Roxanne Perez match, it was dope. It was dope. And the outcome of the match, I looked at it, it was dope. It took me a couple of times for me to listen to Joe and listen to y'all, just to be like, okay, she didn't get pinned. Like, she had to have help to lose the match. So she still looked strong in the match. When Cora Jade did what she did and threw her back in the ring, she still looks strong in everything because she didn't lose fair and square.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. That keeps Julia sort of strong, sorta. But it for
Yeah.
me, fantasy booking, it should have been like I told you, Dennis.
I
it
gotta
should've been
jump off, bro. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Gotcha.
But again, the fact that they had to book it the way that they booked it,
Yeah.
to where Cora Jade had to interfere to cost Giulia the match, just shows that Roxanne can't beat her on her own.
No, the whole match showed that Roxanne couldn't beat her on her own. Like Roxanne tried everything in the book that she always does against every other player. Welcome back, D-Walk. And it didn't work. It actually pissed off fucking Giulia and made her stronger, like Goku versus Jiren. If it wasn't for Cora Jade coming out of fucking nowhere, and again, I would have accepted it if it was Stephanie. If it was Stephanie coming in like, hey, you guys forgot about me. I showed myself on the last NXT before we went to CW. It should make sense that you come out on the fucking CW and cost the match, which would then turn it into a 3-way for the next pay-per-view.
Which would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Because Giulia and Stephanie Vacour and Giulia have wrestled each other.
And that's fine.
And
you make it
those matches are fucking fire.
Yeah. But then you make the stock of Roxanne Perez stronger because Roxanne Perez fights Stephanie and Giulia. She'll lose, whatever. But then she goes up to the main roster. Then you do a nice little rivalry between Stephanie and Giulia, and then everybody else that wants to jump in, Fatal Attraction, freaking all the other girls, Lola Vice, Jada Parker, everyone that lost can retry against Giulia and or Stephanie because they can get the belt for a month, at least a month and a half, and then take it off.
I'm going to tell you right now, WWE is getting smart because they're booking, they're signing international talent. They're not just sticking to the United States. They are signing international talent from other promotions like Stardom, like New Japan, and like AAA. They're doing the right thing by going outside the box and getting people from different organizations outside of the U.S.
Yes, Dennis. Oh, okay. But no, you're right. You're right. Like because AEW would just pick them up anyway. If it's not WWE, it's AEW. And I want to I already gave the rating to the match. It was a good match. Dennis gave it a good match. I think there should be a part 2. I don't want to see a tag team between Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez and Stephanie and Giulia. Then you'll see like a little division between those two. I don't want to see that. I'd rather see a simple triple threat.
So
Roxanne, Giulia, Stephanie for the belt next pay-per-view.
So here's what they're going to do. They're going to stretch it out. They're going to do Stephanie Vacour versus Roxanne Perez.
Yeah.
Cora Jade is going to fuck that up. Julia's going to come in and help. They're going to make a match with Giulia and Stephanie Vacour versus Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez tag match. They're going to do that. And then they're going to have a number 1 contenders match with Vacour and Giulia, and it's going to be a draw.
Yeah,
and that's going to set up the triple threat.
And then that's what sucks. Like your first 2 women, who are the strongest women right now in the whole division, are going to lose on their first matches just so that in the long run they can win the belts. But now you have 2 powerhouses. You have King Kong and Godzilla. And I'm sorry to say this because one's Japan. I'll just say one's the other. Are going to go after the belts. Once Roxanne leaves, it's going to be a fucking power vacuum to see who gets the belt. And a power vacuum between those 2 girls alone because no one else is strong. If no one else beat Roxanne Perez, then sure as shit, no one's going to beat Giulia and fucking Stephanie.
And we're not even talking. And we're not even talking about the fucking vignette that they played later on in the show.
Which one?
The one for the new woman coming. You know who that is?
There was a fucking. What the hell was that? I didn't see that.
You didn't see the vignette when the chick was walking down the highway?
No, but wait. We'll cut it right there so I can remember the timestamp. And backstage segment.
I'll talk about that in a minute.
I got the backstage segment. Backstage, CM Punk and Trick Williams comes to the ring.
Oh yeah.
and Ethan Page as well. We have coming up next Zachary Wentz versus Wesley highlights backstage before the match. Fraser and Axiom are playing NXT on 2K24 on those social games. They're complaining and arguing. They lost the belts to the Grayson Waller felt. They lost the belts to the animated versions of Theory and Waller. And they're like, you know what? And then Fraser leaves and comes back. You know what? Let's try one more time. And he apologized, and they're gonna try it again. Backstage, Ava and CM Punk was talking about the match of the main events when Lexis King came in and started talking about CM Punk. He is trying to be better, and that his father and Ora Mensa cheated. CM Punk tell him to fight who you are born against, or can you be like you are genetically born to be? And before the match, there was a montage of themselves and the fights that they had leading up to the street fights. That was the backstage segments. What were your thoughts on that, D-Walk?
I'm gonna say like this. Until Lexis King turned Brian Pillman Jr., I will never approve of this promo because he